Hello, we're back with another episode of Brit Says, and it is the season finale, episode 8. I made it to the end. You made it to the end. We made it to the end. So, I'm super excited that, I really hit my goal, We had the season finale, and, I'm ending it with a topic about religion and spirituality because, if anything, ever happens with this podcast, if it ever just, reaches the masses, if I ever reach the masses, I want people to know off the rip, I am someone who believes in God. I am religious. I am spiritual. I feel like sometimes, influencers and celebrities, they kind of stray away from religion and usually politics because they want to please the masses. And I just want to put it out there. That's not somebody that I am. If you made it to this episode, you already know I'm very problematic and I thrive on that type of energy. So yeah, episode 8. And it is called Never Would Have Made It Without Who. Never would have made it. Yes, Marvin Sapp came through on that track. But so when I did this topic, I wanted to see what is religious versus spiritual, because I keep hearing this topic, keep hearing people say, I'm not really religious, I'm spiritual. Like, what are you even talking about? Like, I feel like some people I know is that really spiritual. Like, some people just saying they're spiritual, never, got in line with their chakras, never, lit up some incense. That was very, stereotypical, but, for real, stop saying you spiritual. But anyway, when I was doing my research on it, I felt like the articles was real problematic. Very, I'm going to read you, Religious versus Spiritual from HuffingtonPost.com. Contributor Sharam Shiva. And it says, being religious means belonging to an established religious order, whether large or small. This includes religions with billions of followings such as Christianity, Hinduism, and Buddhism. And those with much smaller group of followers such as Bahamianism? Another word that I refuse to try to pronounce. However, most mystical sects are also religious as they worship the same deities and bow to the same prophets and icons as their base religion. Already, you can hear the problematicness because it said icons. It says being spiritual. Spirituality is when you have elevated yourself, which is very wow, from that of a slave mind to an empowered mind. That statement in itself is very problematic. Y'all don't think so? Spirituality is when, you could tell that the author is biased as it pertains to religion and things, because that spirituality is when you have elevated yourself. So say you levels up, you're not a cornball anymore, and of that from a slave mind to an empowered mind. As soon as I put it in Google, this is what came up. Spirituality is chosen while religion is oftentimes forced. So we're gonna stop there because I feel like, with that being said, the topic is very, very all over the place. I think that over time, it being, 2019, that religion has caused, I will be very open and honest, as someone who does believe in God, a lot of problems in, the country, in the United States. It is what's the word? A barrier for a lot of the issues that go on in our country. A lot of the laws that are stated are due to, religion and things like that. For me, I'm a religious person, but I'm not one of those people who throws their their religion on somebody. I am Christian. I believe in God. I pray. I believe that He has done amazing things for me. But if I met a person who was agnostic, it's not going to bother me. If I met somebody who was atheist, it's not going to bother me. It doesn't bother me. If I met someone who was a Satanist, I would be a little bothered. I'd be a little scared, a little frightened. That type of energy I do not entertain. We rebuke that in the name of the Lord. But I mean, I definitely could see how, sometimes, Christians, they have a tendency to really try to push their religion on people and be very judgmental, and they're mad problematic and mad ratchet and out of control themselves, and they tend to be very, judgy. I'm not like that. I feel like what I do is what I do. What you do is what you do. I hope that when people see me or people listen to me or they meet me, they feel my energy and my spirit, and they want to understand, how am I so happy? How am I so blessed? How am I so whatever? And they want to understand why. And I'll be the one to be like, girl, I just go through the day and I pray and I live my life, so they could see through me God. That's really what the Bible kind of try to teach us, is like, people should see God through you and things like that. I am, still, I drink, I curse, I do things that, quote unquote, the average religious person shouldn't do. But, I'm a very new type of Christian. the modern day, I'm not problematic, I feel like. And, like I said, my beliefs are Christianity, non-denominational, and the way I interpret religion is kind of like, just having a barrier, somebody to speak to. And I get it's weird. Some people think it's like superficial, artificial, like you talking to the air when you pray. And for some people, they feel like good things have happened. I feel like with religion or spirituality, I feel like all of our lives are aligned and planned. I feel like God lays out a plan and a purpose for all of us, and it's our choice to follow it. And I feel like sometimes people who don't believe in God, who aren't really close to religion, sometimes, or whoever you believe in, whether you're Buddhist, Hindu, whatever you believe in, we often don't follow our path, and we want things our way. God has a plan for us. He's not gonna, in general, there's a plan. It is aligned. It is set. So, the times when you said, I should make a right, but you made a left, and you made that left, and everything just went into shambles. That's what, I see with religion. Like, I feel like God lays out everything for us. I have seen things that I have wanted, and I tried to get, and I didn't get it, and today I see why I didn't get it. And I feel like that is a line, that is a purpose, that is through someone, like a greater being, of why those things didn't happen, or why certain things happen for me, I believe have a reason and a purpose, and things I have prayed for, I have received. And that for me is just, I believe there's a higher being. Nothing is naturally perfect for me, Why do I think some people have trouble with religion? That's straight to the point, because I feel like us as people, like I would always say, one of my favorite lines on this channel and on this podcast is, we're human, we're flawed, naturally. And because we're human and we're flawed, we're like, I cannot be religious. I'm a hot ass mess. Like, you ever heard somebody say, like, I can't go to church. If I go to church, the ceiling gonna fall down or something like that. Like, I feel like people want to be this hot mess of everything. Like, some people who don't want to be religious, they want to live their life as a hot mess. Some people, not all. Like, I feel like they enjoy being rowdy and rampant. Just being rowdy and rampant doesn't mean you can't be religious. Like, and I feel like that's the other thing. And obviously, the Bible says some things that, people don't believe in, or for instance, with the LGBT community, for me, I don't see how the Bible really speaks to, I get it, but I don't see it, how it speaks to, man and man not being together, woman and woman not being together. It also speaks on loving everyone, accepting people for their flaws, and I think, maybe, like when God wrote the Bible, he liked women, so he just spoke in that sense. I don't think it was literal. That's just me. I think that's not just something I believe in. I don't would never hate a person because they love the same sex. It just doesn't make sense to me. So that's not a reason to hate somebody. I feel like it never was really. I feel like people took the Bible so it is meant to be taken literal, but even like pastors, they read scriptures and then they speak their sermon and they interpret the scriptures how they view it and they relate it to real life. So for me, that's like, I'm dealing with something. I'm going to interpret it in my form and fashion. So I don't really believe that God, if he was here today, would hate gay people or lesbians and the LGBTQ community. I don't believe that. That's just my theory. I think that's one of the top reasons why people do deal with religion is because of those type of things. Because it says, don't eat pork, don't cheat, it basically tells us to do the things that we struggle to not do. And I get it, I get it. And it is hard to not do the things that you shouldn't do in life, But one thing you can't say is that should you drink a whole heap of liquor constantly? Obviously not. Should you cheat on your wife? Obviously not. Or your husband, or if you a girl, you like girls, should you cheat on your girlfriend? You a girl, cheat on your boyfriend? No, you should not. It usually when it happens, it doesn't feel good. Am I lying? So the Bible does say amazing things that we could relate to the real world constantly. So that's just for me. Have you had any weird or bad experiences at church? I did. I definitely did. I always tell people the story. I had a friend. She was Jehovah's Witness in college, and she was very, very, very pushy. With her religion, with Jehovah's Witness, and I remember she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna preach at my church. I want you guys to come." So I went because when I was in college, I kind of wanted always to go to church or whatever. Like, so I was like, "All right, I'm gonna go to her church." I thought Jehovah's Witness, I didn't really know much about Jehovah's Witness. I just knew that they believed in God, and I didn't really understand it, So I went, and for me, it was just real problematic. It was just a lot. First of all, the topic of the day was pornography. Already that's problematic for me. So, then they had a kid stand up and say, they was like, "All right, why do you guys think that watching porn is wrong?" And then this kid who was 8 got up and said, "'Cause it's not good for your right." I'm like, yo, why they got this little kid dead ass standing up talking about pornography? I thought that was wild, weird. I thought that was a weird experience I had in church. That was time when I had been to, that Jehovah's Witness church. That was very, very weird for me. Very, very problematic. Currently, I go to Hillsong in New York City. That church is very revolutionary. You could dress how you want. I could come to church like this at Hillsong, which I adore. I remember growing up, I used to hate. When I say hate having to get dressed to go to church, I felt like it wasn't important to me. I feel like listening to the word is what it was important. And to go back to that, growing up, I did go to church when I was 12, maybe. We started going to church. I used to hate waking up in the morning on Sundays. I remember it it was yesterday. And we went to CCC, Christian Cultural Center. It was right by my house where I live currently. And I always had a relationship with God. It was weird because I was so young, but I enjoyed listening to the sermon. I didn't make it hot that I enjoyed listening to it, but I would listen and I would kind of grasp it. Some days I would sleep and then my mother would wake me up. But I definitely would go to church and listen, and I would pray constantly. So it was just naturally aligned for me to be religious, I guess, for whatever reason. That was just, me. what do you think is a difference between spirituality and religion? So we should go out this in the beginning. For me, what I think the difference between spirituality and religion is pretty much like, I feel people who are spiritual, they kind of like go with the flow. They kind of believe in something. They don't know what. They don't know who, but they are spiritual. They are right. Like free form. Yeah. It's religious. You believe in a religion. You are Hindu. You are Christian. You are, what's another one? Buddhist. You are that. That's what it is. I think being spiritual is dope as well. I live for a spiritual person, you know, that's like really like, some of the ones that's a little overly spiritual, to be like, yeah, I see ghosts all the time. Huh. Like, I can't with that, right? Like, not today, not tomorrow, not next week. Like, I can't. That's what I see. I don't know how spiritual people fully think, but I know they're a little more freeform. For me, with religion, like I said, I'm very modern day religious, modern day Christian. I believe that God has a plan and a purpose for all of us, and it's our choice to follow that direction. If you believe in Him, He'll guide you. He will help you through many situations. And I see it all the time. Like, I feel like a lot of times with people, with us, we want things our way. Like, we want whatever we have our way. And I see a lot of people who don't follow their pathway, who don't follow their alignment. And I feel like a lot of people get caught up in what they kind of want, and it's not what you want. In hindsight, is what is aligned for you. And that could be being spiritual. Some people say they believe in, what's the word? You know, like the plan and the purpose, like what is there for you is meant for you, you know? I do think some people do miss what is planned for them. And even some people, they feel like, oh, I could have been big, I could have been famous, but you ended up kind of like maybe just being, you know, middle class, everyday, settled down, cute girl. And it's nothing wrong with that. I feel like we often don't realize, like, sometimes it is meant for you to be a family figure. Maybe you were meant to be completely headstrong in your family, and you can be famous and be headstrong in your family, but I'm just saying maybe you were meant to be an extremely family-orientated person. And I feel like some people who become celebrities or become big, maybe God wanted to speak through you. Maybe He felt like you can push forward your thinking and your feeling in a way that maybe another person cannot. And those are things I believe in, is like He has a plan. He has everything lined up and set up for you. Like, I really believe, like, I have a weird imagination, so keep that in mind constantly. I feel like God, like, He said, He has His angels with Him. And he sits and He watches us like, look at Brittany. Look at Brittany. I literally told her to go do that, and look what she's going to go do. She'll know. And He goes, Angel Mary, go get Brittany. Go get her. Go get her. Look at her. Oh, my God, this girl don't listen. Like, that's how I feel He is. Like, He has a extreme humor, and He just catches us when we're about to fall. And, I don't see nothing wrong with somebody who don't. I could be friends with a person who doesn't believe in God. I could be friends with a person who believes in something different. It doesn't bother me. I don't know why, because it's not the type of person I want to be. Like, I don't want to be that type of person who's like super duper pushy onto people. I want people, like I said, to see God through me. And, you know, that's just what it is. I feel like people have a tendency to be very, like, extra, read all about it. Like, I've dealt with that. Like, it's not needed. Like, relax. Like, for me, like I said, you know, I pray. I keep it aligned. You know, I'm religious, and I adore that. I live for it. Why do celebrities and like influencers feel like they can't speak about religion? Obviously, they feel like they might lose a spectrum of followers or people, but I feel like, number one, like for me, that shouldn't change how you feel or think about someone if you just because they believe in God. So you got to get to know a person first. Like me, if you meet me, you're not like I'm not gonna be talking about that all day. I'm gonna be me, but I'm gonna still be a believer in God. Like, so I get it. I feel like they feel like once you start talking about religion, that's who you are. You're consumed in that idea. Especially like with articles like that where they're saying someone is an icon. Like they feel like people who are religious are like overdwelled in religion. They're overdwelled in God, and they're gonna always constantly be pushing it at you. Like even in that article, they said you have a slave mentality. You're enriched in religion. Like I feel like that's kind of why people feel the need to kind of, try to separate the two because of that, because they feel like they're going to lose a following, or people will be like, oh God, this person is godly, I'm going home. And first of all, you can believe in God and not be like super, super duper extra. Number one, that's very easy to do. And yeah, I just feel like that's kind of why like people try to stray away from it. But as you can see, there's plenty of celebrities who show that they believe in God. Like Kanye, before he was Nuttyville, he kind of reformatted, religion and rap. With Jesus Walks is like an iconic rap song. Like his spirit went through that song, he's very open about being religious. So is Chance the Rapper. I feel like certain celebrities are open about their religion. They'll put religious music in their albums, like Mariah Carey did that. She has a song on her Emancipation of Me, the last song. I forgot the name of it, one of my favorite songs. And I feel like it's not that deep. Like, it's that deep, but it's not that deep. Like, you just take it for what it is. Like, am I going to come on here and force you to believe in God? Absolutely not. That's not what this is about. But, like I said, I'm going to put it out there, and see what your mind frame is. Like, are you religious? Are you spiritual? What are your weird experiences with being religious and or spiritual? And I feel like being spiritual is like trendy now too. Like everybody want to play with stones and rocks and act like they know chakras and know the stars and when it's aligned and then retrograde. Like knock it off. Okay? Like I feel like that's trendy. Like, are you spiritual or are you not? Like fake. Some people really just want to believe in God. Some people really just want to be Christians, but they want to be spiritual. Some people don't want to believe in anything, but they want to say they're spiritual because it sounds cute. Like, do you even know what you're talking about? Like, are you really about that life? Like, let's talk about it. Like, I feel like being spiritual is like super duper trendy right now. Let me drink my detox water. I feel like it's super duper trendy right now. Like, you see SZA, she's super spiritual. I feel like, or, you should see a lot of, not a lot of celebrities, but it just has this energy to it. You see a lot of memes about the retrograde. I don't even know what that means. I can say that because I don't run around saying I'm spiritual. And I'm quite sure a lot of people who say we're in the retrograde don't even know what the hell a retrograde is. So knock it off. Like, realistically. Is a religion a deal breaker for you in dating? Would you date someone with a different religious background? That's interesting. I feel like that's crazy. I feel like for me, I can't date somebody with a different religious background. No, okay, I could. Let me take that back. I don't know, actually. Can I? I think I could. It just depends on how deeply rooted they are in their religion. Like, I hands freaking down, I could never date an atheist or like an agnostic. Obviously, I would never date a Satanist. I don't know what. I'm judging you. Okay, that I'm judging. I don't think I can really, because that's weird. But I'm quite sure it's a couple out there that's like, one believes in God, one doesn't, because that's the world we live in. Like, people who just go with the flow. For me, I mean, I've heard people who dated out of their religion, and a lot of people just switch over to one. And for me, personally, I can't see myself doing that. Like, that's weird. Like, I can go from Christian to be Hinduism. I can go from Christian to be a Buddhist. Go from Christian to being like, even like some people that go Catholic or whatever. Or, I don't know. I don't know about that. That's love, honey. That's different. I mean, I could date someone who's religious, but they don't really want to go to church or something like that. That I could kind of, in a weird way, deal with. Because I'm going to do me regardless. Like, and that comes in every aspect. No matter who I'm dating, I do me. If I want to go to church on Sunday, I'm going to go. Let's talk about it. Like, if I want to go do this, I'm going to do it whether or not you want to do it. So, that doesn't really bother me. But a different religion... Do you date somebody who has a different religion from you or who's completely different? I would love to know that. Like, I would have loved to chat with somebody who does that. I mean, it works. People make everything happen in 2019, 2020, 2021. They gonna make it happen. Like, if you line up with that person, you love that person, and you feel like that's something you could deal with. Remember, I spoke about that. And, you know, when we speak about dating and relationships, then you gonna make it happen. You feel me? But let me wrap this up. I'm so happy we finished season finale, season 1 of Brit Says. I got a surprise. This is not the last episode. I have a bonus episode coming up after this. And it's gonna be a really good episode. It was actually supposed to be episode 1, but I didn't like the camera quality. The camera quality on episode 1 of this season sucks because I had just got the camera. But I didn't like the camera quality. I didn't feel like my energy was right. But when I watched it back, I felt like what I was saying was very truthful. It's a dope topic. It's about being 30, about to be 30, and just like in a weird, rough spot. So I will see you on the bonus episode, and I just want to thank you for sticking it out with me, and I will see you guys in September for season 2, and I will be having in between seasons where I will do vlogs and get ready with me throughout the season. While the season is gone, I'll still be posting content and stuff, so you guys could stay tuned with me. But thank you. I will see you for season 2.